What is going on, guys? Joey here. I'm here with John. And do you want me to call you Carl? Do you want me to call you Calle? How do you want me to say it?
Let's go with Calle.
Calle. All right, because when I was on King of the Lists, we
Yeah.
had to say your name both ways every time.
Yeah,
Um,
that get confusing.
yeah, Calle. So I'm here with Calle and John. Um, Jesus was gonna be here, but something came up, so no worries. We're just gonna kind of talk about Worlds a little bit, their experience, getting it kind of from the lifter side. Um, a lot of people were talking about how challenging this meet was on the judging side, but these guys didn't have to worry about that because they got 27 white lights on every lift, which is pretty cool. Um, and I guess we'll just start off by talking about that. They're saying now that getting 2 to 1 is not good enough anymore.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, because to cut you off real quick, I remember going into Worlds. One of the refs, I think, made a post that they had like I don't know if it was like a meeting or something, but they definitely said something about like going into this Worlds, the jury was going to be more active, like on purpose. Like the jury was going to be another set of eyes, 100%, versus just like kind of being there, off in the
Yeah.
corner, like in prior every meet ever. So I had a feeling it was going to be like this, but I didn't think it was going to be like that bad, or for like a lot of people.
Do you remember if Sheffield had? I think it only had 3 juries.
Had 3 jurors, yeah.
Yeah, this one had 5, which means you could have interesting situations where, let's say, a lift was like 2 to 1. You could have three. You could have a potential situation where there's 8 total judges, and 4 of them said it was good, 4 of them said it was bad, and you don't get it.
Wait, 4. Wait, what?
Yeah, because so if there's 5 juries and there's 3 on the
Oh
platform.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say 2 juries say no on the other 3 juries say yes, but then there's one judge that says yes and 2 juries say no. That's 4-4. But in that case, it would be good because the jury has more power than the judges in the seat. Um, I mean, Carl, was that something that ever went through your mind? Calle, is that something that ever went through your mind? Was that something that you were thinking about it all, or were you just like, I know my lifts are clean, I don't have to worry about this?
Yeah, I just made sure to be as consistent as possible, both in training and on competition. And I don't want to leave anything to the judges because I know if I get that red light, it might get overturned. So I was just trying to sink my squats, hit my depth, and keep my butt on the bench, everything clean. But no, I wasn't really worried about the juries because I mean I'm always pretty consistent in comp.
Yeah, and I think honestly, where you compete, so like in Europe, you have your European owned federation, and then you also have Euros, which is kind of like, how would you describe Euros to like an American? Because we don't have, like, we have, I don't even know, like, John, what would we call it? Like, we have,
Like is it like a regionals kind of thing?
well, it's bigger than
I suppose
nationals.
NAPF.
Yeah,
NAPF.
It's like Worlds, but
Yeah.
not US.
Yeah, it's like NAP.
it's
So it's like
yeah,
NAPF.
it's basically a mini
Nah,
worlds.
but I feel like Euros for them is like a big deal. Like for us,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
it's like
It
it's
is.
like a meet, right?
it's huge
Yeah,
for
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy, actually. To think about.
I mean, for us, it's the comps you do if you're like a national, international level lifter. It's Euros and Worlds, and I mean, of
What
course,
a,
you treat Worlds a bit more seriously, but I mean, Euros is still a big thing.
that's crazy.
Do
Actually,
you
to think
do
about.
you
Yeah.
have to do nationals every year, or is there like, oh, if you just competed recently, like maybe that counts?
I mean, we're supposed to do nationals each year, but I mean, they're not really too strict about it. If you're
Obviously ahead.
really ahead, of your competition like nationally, they won't make you. But I
Yeah.
mean, if it's like between you and another guy and you're very like
You gotta
close to
fight
each
for it.
other,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
that's the situation I had like in open nets between me and Eddie.
yeah. What is Eddie doing these days?
I don't know, man. Doing weightlifting stuff,
Is he?
benching sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know that he's weightlifting like in the national team?
I did not know that.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wait, I think I knew that. I think
So
I
he's like,
briefly knew that. I think he did
Hmm.
that first. He did
I
that
don't know
before
which he started
powerlifting.
with first,
Man, that was a
maybe.
long time ago. That was like a super long time ago. He was like super
Yeah, but
flexible. That's how he got the crazy bench, and then he did powerlifting for a little bit, and then he went back. So that's really interesting. Um,
yeah, I think he's been doing like both simultaneously. Uh,
does your country support like athletes like that, or is it mostly through the federation?
do you
Like,
mean like,
so for example, like I know like in France, the lifters can get paid by France to just powerlift, and other smaller countries, their countries care about things like powerlifting and weightlifting a lot, so they will pay them to do it. I don't know if that's something that Eddie would get from Sweden or what.
no, I don't think. I don't know how it's on the weightlifting side though. I know I have a friend who's in the national team in weightlifting, and she gets some type of economical funding, but it's not like
Interesting.
a lot, but it's to some degree.
I guess we'll start with you first because you competed before John. And then I could ask John about what he thought. What were you thinking coming into this meet, and then as the meet was happening, and then the end result? So like, what was kind of your mindset going into it?
Yeah, I mean, I just went in with the mindset of knowing that, if I have a good day, if I pull everything through, there might be a chance for me to pull off a win or place very high. Um, but I didn't really want to necessarily think that, I'm going to beat Taylor because, you never know what type of shape he comes in.
Yeah.
And, I can't control my other competitors. So I just tried to focus on doing my thing, focus on one lift at a time. Big Body actually sent out a video to me the day of the
Yeah.
competition. I don't know if you heard about this, but yeah, just
He
explaining
just
to
told
me
me that
that
he said something to you, but I didn't. He didn't tell me like exactly. He might have told me exactly what he said, but like I remember speaking to him, I was really busy, so my brain was like halfway
yeah,
there. But go ahead.
yeah. But so basically, just explain that I've done everything that I possibly could, left no stone unturned, and
Going
that
into it, yeah.
yeah, and just taking it one lift at a time, just aiming and shooting, one
Chris,
shot at a
that's
time,
Chris for
and
sure. Yeah.
yeah. And I took that to heart and just, focused on doing me up until like the last deadlift, actually. So I didn't really know like where Taylor or Tim was like in the competition until like, coming up to deads.
So imagine like you're just going through your meet and you're just lifting, and then all right, here's the last lift. If you pull this, you win.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like, how did we get here? Well, because a lot of things happened at the very end of the deadlifts that changed everything and kind of opened the door for us. Like I was looking at
Mm.
Taylor had a fake number, and I was looking at that, and I was like, even if he gets that car, I could pull it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was no. I was like, it was like so. It was like a lot, and then they lowered it, but it was still kind of a lot, and I was like, I don't know, because I was sitting in the stands with Jacob, and I was like, I don't know, man, that's kind of like a lot. I don't know if Taylor's gonna get that. It's gonna be close. And it was really
Yeah.
close. It was like so close. And then I saw him kind of like hitching it a little bit, and then the
Mm.
jury didn't give it to him, which is weird because like sometimes at meets you could watch a lift and you're not sure which way it's gonna go. But at this meet, if I had that feeling of I'm not sure, I almost started to gain a confidence that the jury was gonna take it away. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
no,
it wasn't going.
they're not gonna
Yeah.
let that go, you know. So Which is interesting. When John's meet comes up, I'll talk about something that happened with John's meet. Um, but so yeah, I mean, he missed his deadlift, and then Tim hit his deadlift, and then basically that put you in a position where you had to pull yours. How much do you think you had left on that deadlift? Like trying to remember how it felt. How much do you think you had in the tank? Like
I
safely,
was
and
ready
then
to pull.
reach.
I was ready to pull 340.
And the actual
I know
number
that
was what? It was like three.
340.5. Oh, you mean like
What did?
the what I pulled?
Yeah.
328.
Yeah. So another another
12.
12
Oh,
keys on that.
yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your grip
But I
is
wrote.
really strong, and you don't have much interference with your hands and your legs. And I mean, it was just solid as fuck. But see, when you get in that position, I mean, if somebody tells you everything you want is right in front of you, you're gonna get a Zenkai boost, like far. You're
Yeah,
gonna
of
get a power
course.
boost, like, like, like you've never, felt, which is weird. Because John, we are always going against like. No, there's been times, John, where I told you like, yo, if you pull this, I remember at one nationals, it was like, yo, if you pull this, like that's it. I
That was
remember that.
2019.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember I was like, I think maybe 2021. Was it 2021?
Nah, you've told me that a lot of times because that's
Yeah,
happened. That's
yeah,
happened all the
yeah.
time. It's
It's like,
like, hey, you
hey,
gotta pull this
if
away,
you
and I'm
get
like, all
this,
right,
like
fine.
it's over. It's over.
I've had to do that like 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you always have to. You
yeah,
always have to go. You always have to execute, especially at Worlds when it's this close. Um, Matt Gary actually said something. He said, "You're not beating John if you're not going 9 for 9. There's
yeah. That
nobody
was
strong enough."
I heard them say that, and I was like, that's a crazy
He's
compliment
like,
from Matt Gary.
no one is strong enough to go 8 for 9. Like Russ, like we could go 8 for 9 a lot of times and just like it's just extra credit, like just kind of
Hmm.
like hammer it in there, Not always, but most of the time. And then
Yeah,
like then with Amanda and Jesus, it's like fucking 4 for 9.
they can do whatever they want. Yeah,
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
amount of
Right.
times I was telling Will, who's handling Jesus, I was just like, just do whatever you want. I was literally just like whatever he wants, just fucking put it in. Like I don't. I was like, close your eyes and just throw a dart on the on the attempts and just whatever you hit. Um, which is fucking crazy to say that at the world level that there's people that could just I'm just that far ahead. I would like to think in time that won't be the case because what big sport can you think of? I mean, I don't know. Like, can you guys think of a sport where there is a competitor that is so good that they're just far and away from everybody else to where, like it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, Amanda Nunez she just retired, but she was just like, but she lost once recently.
yeah.
Caught her
She was
on a bad
trolling
night.
though.
Yeah, she was sick, I think. I heard she had like COVID or something, and then she like died, and then didn't have cardio for the fight, um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think like in football, even when the Patriots were like
Yeah,
so fucking dominant and they were always in the playoffs, always in the Super Bowl, they didn't win every single time. I mean, they got there a lot, but it's hard. It's so hard, and that's why it's just a crazy thing. And I feel like, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody in weightlifting who's just a god and they just never lose. Um,
Yeah,
and
I feel like Jesus is like what Lasha is to weightlifting, you know? You guys who know who
uh,
Lasha Talhadze is?
yeah.
I've heard
That's
his name.
actually a
Yeah,
really good comparison. Yeah,
just he just nobody's gonna come close.
No, no, he's
yeah.
like so dominant, he can like do whatever he wants.
Actually, what's his name?
Lasha?
Yeah, I don't know his full name.
What
I just know
country?
Lasha.
The Georgian.
Lasha. Lynch? Thompson. What's the last name? Oh, Tala. Oh, I
Talhadze.
see him. I see him. Georgian weightlifter.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, weightlifting. Maybe it's a strength sport thing. Maybe it's like a because you're controlling yourself, and no one's gonna like knock you off. No one's gonna like physically push you out of what you want to do. So I don't know. But okay, so what? So after, so you came into the meet, you just said if I have a good day, I'm gonna get it done.
Mm.
Deadlifts come up. What were you thinking, like 20 seconds before you hit that pole? Like going up to that deadlift, we're going crazy in the
You,
stands.
um, the crazy thing is that like a couple of days out, I started having these like uh, what's it called? Like visions
Visualizations, yeah.
or like yeah, visualizations exactly of me standing like in before my last deadlift. I know that I what's loaded on the bar is what is needed to win the meet. And I just have a very clear memory of me just, going up to the bar and pulling it and locking it out. And the same exact thing popped up in my head, like right before the deadlift. And, I just knew that, oh, yeah, it's done. I'm just going out there to pick up my gold. And yeah, it's over.
And you hit more than that in the gym? Did you
Yeah,
hit
I hit
330 in the gym?
330,
Yeah.
but that was a grinder.
I mean, we're fatigued, so I mean, John, didn't you hit 750 in the gym?
Yeah, 340. Yeah,
And in the meet you did 760?
345.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so easy.
and that
How,
that 345 was like twice as fast as that 340.
I've seen you
Yeah,
die on the third pull and that was not death.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so afterwards we go crazy and then
Yeah.
your Swedish coach runs over and pulls you away from us. And for me, it was like, I mean, John, when did you hear about it? When did you hear like, yo, Carl won?
I was
Cali,
watching.
fuck.
I was watching, bro.
Okay, okay, from the room. Or were you there?
Yeah,
Oh, you
from
were
the
right
room.
next to
Oh
me.
no,
Wait, were you
no, I was
sitting
in
in
the
front
room.
of me?
Oh no, 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 no. That was a different day.
That was the day
I was
after.
in the room watching it with Nina. I was going crazy.
Yeah, dude, it was like,
He cried, dude.
Yeah, dude.
dude, it was
John
like
cried.
Tina
That's the
cried.
first thing Nina says.
Tina cried. Sup, Nina? Sup, Nina? Um, Tina cried too. I mean, it was honestly, dude, hearing Eric Helms, he was like, like, what the fuck is even happening right now? Like, Taylor just got third,
Yeah.
like, what are we even seeing? Like, the way everything was happening and unraveling, um, it was weird because Taylor is like this, he's like this Titan, right? And he's like big, and after squat, like, boom, he took some damage, like his we damaged his knee or something, and like you're just chipping him throughout the meet, like he's getting weathered, and then when it came to deadlift, boom, they took his other knee out, and he finally fell down, but he like still had his arms, and you had to finish it. That's kind of what it felt like. He's just this like, I'm thinking of this Elden Ring boss where you fight the fucking fire giant. But like he's like this big fucking like Titan who's just been so dominant. Like he's guarded that weight class forever. And I've won the 83s and 93s before as a coach, but I could the 74s just was like they just had that on lock. It was just nobody was coming close to him. Um and then we had that year where he hit uh was it like 838, and
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
dang, like crazy. I do remember, I believe it was a local meet in Florida, I think.
Wasn't it like a nationals?
It might have, I wasn't there, I don't know, I'm not sure because I was
You
at,
talking about Taylor's meet?
yeah, with the crazy one.
That was national. His highest meet was 2021 nationals.
that
That's
was
the
Daytona,
eighth
right?
that was PA,
Daytona.
or was
That
it
was no, that was UCPL.
really
Uh-huh.
when he
I
pulled
remember because
750?
I remember because we were on the Ohio bar, obviously, and also everyone was saying his bench was like a little sussed, because his like
Oh, it was quick, it was
yeah, it
like
was
a
like a
quick
quick
press.
command, yeah, yeah. But I remember like
Why
the
do I
venue,
not
yeah.
remember that? Maybe I wasn't down there, I don't know. I remember Daytona. I got food poisoning. I was with Duhan. I was fucking
Oh
dying. It was fucking
yeah, I
Oh
remember
terrible.
shit.
that.
And then I lifted at the end of it, and I don't know how I squatted 722. I was so fucked up. I was like dead. But basically, Taylor was like on this tear, and then all his meets after that, we were just like, oh, he doesn't have to go all out. He's just kind of chilling. Um, and then I mean, I'm assuming he's hurt. I'm assuming something, life, injuries, everything's adding up. And, Mikey was really feeling it. I know Emil Norling, if you look at his total from like when he's healthy and then all the times him and Mikey are competing, their totals are just going down because they don't have any
Both getting
rest.
hurt.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like constantly dying. Pretty much. Um but now everybody has a chance to like get healthy and we'll see what happens. So, Callie, for you to get back to Worlds,
Mm.
what do you have to do?
I don't know. I mean, technically, I have to do a nationals, but since
When is
Sheffield is
that?
around like the exact same, it's like
Oh yeah.
2 weeks after Sheffield or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully
So
they like make it count. Otherwise,
yeah, they will. So that won't be an issue. So I think it's just keep competing, and if somebody gets close to me like Eddie or something, we might have to face off on
yeah.
nationals or something. I don't know.
Is it
We'll
your
see.
coaches that
But
would decide or someone else? Like the national coaches that would
yeah,
decide?
exactly.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they want to give the country the best chance, and I don't see anyone else from Sweden. I mean, you would know better than me. Is there any young up and comer 74s?
No, I mean there's Alex. He competed at Worlds as well, but he was in the B group. Did like 740, so I mean uh, that
Yeah,
won't really be an issue there.
yeah.
Um, we'll see what Eddie does, but I doubt that they that he will beat 778. But we'll see.
I mean, you're gonna be
But
hitting
yeah,
it 800 soon. Like we're gonna
yeah,
have an
yeah. I
800
mean,
gym total before next year. I feel.
I think if we like do some Euros or something like later this fall or November, I mean 800 is gonna be there for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like if you go look at is it open powerlifting where you see all your meets? Like it
Yeah.
was just like it's just like a jump, a chunk, a chunk, a chunk, a chunk of like increase every meet.
Mm.
And that's a very good trajectory to be on. You have no injuries.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep it like that. um, rolling over to John. My dogs are crying. John, what were you feeling coming into this meet? I know that we kind of like talked and like set the mindset before the meet. I was just kind of like, yo, fucking go into this and just like be free. Like just have I wanted you to go from it from a like when you're on the top and you're constantly like knocking people down, it's like annoying because you're building this tower and the tower is just getting taller and taller and taller. And like each time you're competing, the tower can like sway a little bit more. Like there's more to lose every time that you stack win, 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 win. Um, and I said just come into this one like I don't know, your mindset was way better. I don't know if it's because I was there. I don't know if it was because training was really good. Um, training was really good the last two preps. I mean, we did make a lot of adjustments to put you in a position to do your very best with the short turnaround. Um, but yeah, without reading your mind, what was your mindset coming into this meet? What were you thinking as the meet went on? And then did you have any special, did you feel anything like before that last pull, or were you just kind of like sort of in your own zone? John, you're frozen again. It's all good. He's gonna fix it.
No.
I hear you. I can hear you. I mean, while he's fixing that, for me, it was just like I don't know what our competitors are gonna do, but I know that John's gonna come in. You're good now. I can see you.
Can you hear me though?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what the fuck?
You're gonna come in heavier. You're gonna come in, better mindset, reset as much as we could. But yeah, tell us.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So let me jump back really fast to 2022 Worlds. That losing that world the
South
way I
Africa.
did, South Africa, losing
Yes.
worlds in South Africa the way I did, I had to make a decision, like after, like pretty, like right after it,
Mhm.
that something has to change. It doesn't even have to be training. It doesn't have to be like nutrition. It doesn't, something about me had to change to not let something. It's not that I wasn't a good lifter still. Like I was 8 for 8 going into that last deadlift that I,
Mhm.
ended up not pulling last year. But I knew something had to change internally, in a sense. Just basically like my mindset and my outlook. I had to take time and learn what what is the most min max mindset, the most efficient mindset. Generally, that means you find a way to be happier. Because when you are a happy person and in a good environment, you generally can perform better as a person, right? So from that loss to Sheffield and to the worlds that we just did,
Yep.
that's what you're seeing, and I'm happy you can see that because you've known me for many years.
Mhm.
Basically, just my approach. My approach with life changed, which in turn changed, or more so shifted how I trained and approached competing, which in turn made me an even better lifter, in my opinion.
Now leading up to
Worlds
talk about
2023.
like how you were feeling after Sheffield and then how you were feeling right before Worlds.
So initially going into Sheffield, I remember talking to you about this. Going into Sheffield, I was like, I don't care about worlds this year. I just want to do Sheffield, and I need my break that I've
Yeah.
been wanting for like years, right? Um, and sometimes I feel like that's just the fatigue talking, you know.
Mhm.
But right after Sheffield, I got second to Jesus, which is
It's fine.
absolutely beautiful,
Yeah.
and
That's
um,
fine.
to the best, the best performance a powerlifter's ever done in history, right? I'm cool with it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
If he's not there, you win.
yeah,
Yeah. So.
I technically got best lifter, but hey,
Yeah.
hey, who cares? But but I remember we chatted in the lobby, and I was like, I might take my break now, and we were like, you were like, before you decide, just like it's
Go
here.
home
You have,
first. Go home
yeah,
first.
go
Yeah.
home, sleep, rest, clear, get clarity back from all the hype and all the caffeine and traveling, and then make your decision. Um, and I knew the competitor in me just couldn't do that. Like if if I like sat down alone, which I did for however long, and just thought within myself, I was like that's not right. I have to compete regardless of how I feel my body is, especially going into Sheffield. I got hurt. Um, I was like, I don't care that this is a quick turnaround. I need to, for me at least, I need to make things right in the sense of like, I didn't need to necessarily win. I just needed to make all my lists for me. That's like the biggest thing for me is just can I do my best? And generally, doing your best is for how I see it in terms of powerlifting. Doing your best is going 9 for 9, maybe 8 for 9, and just putting out a good performance. That's a really important thing um, going into competitions. Um, Now to 2023 Worlds, you're would you ask how would I feel
What?
going
How did you
to?
feel right before going into that?
I felt good. I made peace with a lot of things in my life, even especially outside of lifting, which let me basically have like no distractions in that sense. I learned to just like be extremely focused with just focused, just extremely focused and present.
Yeah, being present is something that my brain's like loop or like thought loop, whatever, is like I'll be doing something, I'll get really caught up in it, but then it's like a little timer that will go off every couple minutes and be like, "Hey, like you're here at Worlds. Like your lifter's about to,
About to do
pull for
something.
the win. Like enjoy these next 60 seconds. Like this is what you do it for. This is it right here." And I always try to pause and just like I'm here right now, because we get so caught up in it that we don't enjoy it. So I totally get that. Um, how are you feeling after your third squat?
So the meet was fast. I think
Was your
the
session on TV?
yes, mine was being broadcasted, so I think they had us even faster.
Did you feel speed?
Yes, everyone was fucking tired. Um, I think our whole flight like was 22 minutes. Like the
Which is
each that
interesting
was like
because
average.
yeah,
That's
which is
so fast.
it's interesting because I mean your bench was fucking good.
So okay, so after third squat, right? After third squat, um, taking my last warm up on squats, I was like that felt like okay. I took my first squat and I was like all right, and then I took my second and it felt like shit.
Yeah,
And
Will was like,
oh,
Joey.
like 300, yeah, yeah. But I remember taking like my or going to after doing my second squat, I was like, how are we even gonna finish this meet if it's like this fast? For me, I was like, how am I going to finish this meet? Um, like the way I wanted.
Mhm.
So after that third squat, I remember being tired, and we had to like warm up right away. I was actually just talking to my mom about it a bit ago, about how during warm ups I was still like chewing my food. I was trying to I had like gummy bears in my mouth trying like while I was doing some warm ups.
What was the time
Like
from when you warmed up to like like you're warming up, you're on the platform in an hour, or you're warming up, you're on the platform in 90 minutes. You're warming up. What's weird with this one is because you're warming up and now you're on your third squat in 90
yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's Nina. Hello, Nina. Whoa. Oh, you ordered Starbucks? Oh shit. Okay. So bench, I knew the meet was going to be fast, and I knew I could end up gassing by deads if I was just getting too hyped, right?
Yeah.
So for my first bench and second bench, I consciously like lowered my heart rate. That's why I was yawning after my second bench. That's why I was like, oh, he's yawning. I'm like, no, like I like consciously like slowed myself down and took my first and second bench as like a break. So and then I was like, I could just ramp back up from onto my third bench and then just like use everything else for deads.
Hmm.
So that's where that I think I was thinking about that and I was
Bench was
like,
super fucking fast. Like I
yeah,
could have put another 5 keys on that for sure.
yeah, I had like 5 kilos left on bench. That wasn't it really wasn't that bad. That's why I can move on to deadlifts now. Like my first
Yes.
deadlift was easy. My second deadlift was like it wasn't like terribly fast. Um, but my third deadlift was like the best one. That third deadlift was like super. That's the best I've ever moved 340 or 345 rather.
Yeah, I'm actually very happy with the programming adjustments that were made from the
Yeah,
last one
the
to this
changes we
one.
made. Yeah,
Yeah, I was really
the
happy with
changes we
that.
made. That I wasn't even like we both were kind of like,
Yeah, because we
we'll
tried
see,
it
I
for three
guess.
weeks and then it was like, which makes me wonder. And you know what's funny is you guys both do not use traditional frequency. I mean, John, you kind of do, but it's really condensed. Callie, I mean, as you guys know, we squat once a week and deadlift once a week, but we
What the fuck?
train the muscles associated with the lift after that. Plus, his squat and deadlift kind of benefit each other. So he is getting some overlap, which is like not everybody's like that. For example, Russ pulls conventional and he squats like with very different muscles. I mean, similar muscles, but different also. Um, and he can handle like more like his there's like a little bit less overlap. And that's something that as you're programming and making adjustments, like you have to balance this. Um, it would be like imagine if the overhead press and the comp bench were like in like a comp lifts and you had to train them regularly. Well, obviously there's no pecs really involved in the overhead press, but if you're constantly doing them both, your shoulders and your triceps are going to be roasted while your pecs may have, you see what I'm saying? So like, and I think people don't think about that. See, I always approach everything from like almost like a bodybuilding sort of anatomy, like what muscles are we hitting. Um, and I think when you approach your programming that way, you can hit all your marks. For drug-free lifters, like you just got to hit the same muscle group at least twice a week, and we're doing that. We're just doing it in different, not necessarily the comp lift. And it's crazy because I hear a lot of lifters that'll complain like, "Oh, like I'm not doing low bar squats enough, like it feels rusty, whatever." But Callie never complains about that. We're just good. Like we just get enough work done when we need to do it. Um, I squatted once a week. I did high bar also, but I never felt like I didn't want to squat again. Like I didn't need the rest. Or sorry, I needed the rest. I didn't need the rest was more important than the practice, if that makes sense. Yeah, I could load up like 315, um, but like even on my days when I was beat, so that's like another thing. But anyway,
Third, third deadlift.
yeah, how did you feel after that third deadlift?
Well, real quick, going out to the third deadlift,
Did you know
I
anything?
literally,
Did you know like anything that was happening?
I didn't know the standings, but I knew like I was like I have to be like pretty good right now because
The vibe
I,
is yeah.
yeah, I was like I think I heard Will say like you're pretty good, just use this to like push that gap, and
Yeah.
I know that means like I'm ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know how far, but I was like, well, I don't
Well,
care. I'm gonna pull
when
this
Emil missed his thanks. When Emil missed his
345.
deadlift, that kind of just like took pressure off of you to like you don't even need to make yours. Um but Gustav is always lurking,
Yeah,
waiting.
you don't know if he
He's
pulls like
literally
8
a
trillion.
sniper
Yeah.
waiting for someone to fuck up. Um Callie, what have you seen? What is Gustav's? I don't know if you know his like, or John, you might know. What is his like top end?
For deads, I think
Yeah.
that was just one of his better deadlifts. The 345 he pulled.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he
Isn't
looked
that
good
like
for
the highest
350.
he's pulled?
I think that's the most he's pulled in comp.
Why does
Yeah,
someone tell
yeah.
If
me,
not super close.
dude? I heard someone say like, bro, he's gonna pull 380.
I'm like, no.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
when you said that, I was like,
No,
they're
no.
trolling. I was like, they're trolling. But yeah, going out to my third deadlift real quick.
Oh shit, I thought he could. I was respecting him. I was like, damn. I was like, shit.
Uh, I was like, I had a split second, and I remembered Africa while I was standing out there. I had a split second of like I looked down, and I like remembered where standing in the platform on South
Wait,
Africa.
was this before or after I sent you the Teddy Atlas speech? Did I send you the speech before and then the video
Yeah,
after?
you sent me that before. You sent me that before.
Yeah,
No, you
because
sent me everything before.
it was like he could because I mean you could I'll let you finish it, but like basically
Okay.
like you could fix it right now.
Yeah, right
You
now.
could fix it right
And I
now.
looked down. So the mistake, I feel like I don't like. I feel like a piece of me could have pulled that 350 in South Africa at the time, but I had a slight.
Doubt.
I stood there too long. Yeah, I had a slight
Mhm.
doubt, and I think that was enough to fuck me over. In the sense of like I changed my setup because I didn't do my normal like free throw routine, right?
Exactly.
And I remember that, and I remember going out for now. I'm going to jump back to Malta, the Worlds that just passed. So
Uh-huh.
I'm standing there, and I had the split remembrance, like a visual that of missing in South Africa. And I remember as I was standing there, and I was just like, and the bar. I remember I wanted to move the bar a little, but I was like, no,
In South
like I
Africa
just have to.
or right
No,
now.
no, this one.
Okay.
I moved it in South Africa. I moved it and like took time. And
Yeah.
this one, I was like, I'm not even gonna move this. I'm just gonna like just do it. Um, and it moved extremely well. Like I had 350, maybe in 352 and a half.
Yeah, 100% 350 was
Yeah.
there, which is gonna be a good one day when you do it because it's like I conquered the weight, that weight.
Yeah. Like
Um,
I really want to pull 350. Like just for me at least in comp.
yeah. It's also a solid number. So the total was 888 flat
Hmm.
with, I mean, 900 is
That was there.
probably
900 was
there.
there.
If we max it out,
Because
yeah.
if we did 5 on bench and 7.5 on deads, that's it.
907, man. We're gonna get that fucker.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it. So yeah, man. I mean, honestly, to start the week for us, like the Flex Boys and like Carl, Calle, motherfuck, to start out.
Honestly,
I feel like in America I gotta say Carl, but if I'm in Europe I gotta say Calle.
Yeah, you gotta say
hon-
Cali.
honestly, there's that thing about like at least for like when you have teammates going and stuff like that. For us, it's flex, right? Um, there is a thing about just like morale. Um,
Yes, you
and
it,
like
he said it.
yeah,
He set the tone early.
like last year South Africa, everyone had a bad meet, and by the end of the week,
Yeah,
everyone was like, everyone was all sad.
yeah.
I remember you and I were even talking about that. Um,
I
but
mean,
like
even Jesus, I remember his
yeah,
lifts
even
were getting
Jesus,
taken away.
yeah,
Uh, like it just nothing was going. Like it was just Amanda was pissed. Like I don't know. I don't know. It was just a
yeah.
tough year. Like
Uh,
it was just fucked. Like
and Delaney, Delaney had his thing. Um,
yeah, it was.
so
Ina just keeps fucking scaring him every time.
but for this world, for Callie, Ted, your story. I saw your story. I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
For that, for you to
Sure.
just like honestly, I'm gonna be like transparent. Like that, I feel like that set the tone for at least for me, the way I felt it, because I was like, fuck. I want to do well. I want to do well now. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I already wanted to, but like, hey, someone fucking did it. Like they did,
He
they got
did.
it
He
done.
did. He
Like
did. He did something that was very impossible. Um, and I like. I mean, this happens in sports, right? Like a win or not, like however you get the win done, ugly or not, it doesn't fucking matter. You got the win. Like once you get the gold, like yeah, they had to miss lifts and all these things. Don't matter. Still got it. Still won. Like so that's you had to have a great meet. We needed the top dog to make some mistakes or just get. Honestly, I thought he got kind of screwed on his squat. I don't know how much that was increase over his second. Um,
I think it was 7.5, if I had to guess.
but I think Callie could have pulled another 7.5.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But he would have
Yeah,
tried
Definitely.
to. But then maybe Taylor tries to pull five less, and then we have to pull
yeah.
340. Um, but again, I was like, if he wins now as a junior, that's fucking amazing. That'll be very
How
life
many people have
changing.
done that? That's actually a good question.
Open world champ as a junior.
As a junior.
I think I'm the only Swede that has done it. I'm
Mm,
pretty
Oh yeah,
sure.
for sure.
did Jesus maybe?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
That's
Jesus
right.
won
Maybe
in Hamster.
his
Jesus
last
probably
one
did it.
was
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I
I
can't
think
really think.
Isaac too, no?
Not
Open?
open. Not open.
Not open.
Not open.
Mm.
Because Gavin won juniors, I think, in
Yeah.
the year he was at
Yeah.
USVI. Yeah, and honestly, like, I do think you were the strongest on this day, John. I think you were the strongest
Yeah.
from all of
That
them.
was yeah,
Bec-
yeah. And
because even if Gavin gets that deadlift, um, and he gets that squat, like I think you were just stronger.
yeah, I
So
think I was still ahead even with those.
yeah, so I have to look at the numbers, but yeah, I think you were just a little bit strong because his deadlift was stronger at Sheffield. So I'm not sure what.
He was telling me the next morning that he was just like feeling he just gassed out.
I mean, it's fast. What
It
if
was
it's gonna be
fast.
like
Yeah.
that from now on? You know,
That'd be fun.
how are people gonna? Not for you.
Yeah, yeah. I
It
mean,
didn't bother
I'm
you.
just saying. Yeah, it is annoying regardless.
Yeah. Because like right after squat, it didn't bother.
I was, bro, on my deadlift warm ups. I was eating like Stealth. I was like had food in my mouth chewing during my deadlift
For the
warm-ups.
big boys, it is a
Yeah.
thing. For the big boys, it is a thing. It definitely,
What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Callie, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? You saying something?
No. I just said that I was like that, throughout the meet as well. Just trying to eat and drink like throughout the whole meet.
Yeah.
Was basically no rest in between like the events. It was
Yeah.
basically, that's what done. Okay, let's warm up for bench.
I mean, it's kind of good, honestly. I like it when it's fast because I've done like 5-hour meets and it just fucking sucks, man. Like you're tired by deadlifts, you don't even want to be there. Just like your pre-workout's wearing
Yeah.
you out.
That's
Yeah.
another good point. There's like a nice middle ground. Maybe like 30-minute flights, I think, is a nice middle ground. Yeah.
Honestly, though, if it has to be like this, fuck it.
But I'm down. I'm down.
Fuck
Honest,
it.
I'm down if
Make
it's
it
Yeah.
harder. We make it
Yeah.
harder. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
I
see
mean,
what you
and
got.
for like entertainment wise, it's way better with the shorter flights.
Yeah.
It's way better.
100%. 100%. For viewability.
I was good,
Yeah.
man. I liked it. I like that I didn't. It was like, okay, you guys are done. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then right when I come back, the girls are going, and like that was cool. And then boom, it's your turn. So that was good. Nina,
Hello? That's me.
tell me about the city getting, supplies. Your experience at this one versus the last multiple worlds that you've been to with John. Is this your favorite worlds?
Yeah. Hands down. This was
Hands
this one
down.
definitely
Like not even close. Not even close.
yeah. It was a
It's because
lot
I was
easier
there.
to
It's because I
navigate.
was there. It's because I was there.
It also made it better that this was the first worlds that I experienced where the meet is in the same hotel, like in the same location.
How was it before?
We would have to take Sweden, we'd have to take a like
Shuttle.
15 to 20-minute shuttle
Oof.
from the
That was like
hotel
a
to
30-minute shuttle because we had to stop.
yeah,
There
we
was
had
one
to,
stop.
we also had to stop at one other stop, which was the middle point, and that was the mall, and then it will take us to the venue.
I did like how in the hotel, it was like a giga hotel. It had a gym, it had the meet, it had breakfast, it had all the meeting rooms, so I didn't have to go
Yeah.
everywhere.
Everything's in one spot.
The
Yeah.
grocery stores were like almost connected to the hotel in the back of it. There was that one that we went to that was across the street, but there was another little one that was like on the. It was literally like fucking 150-second walk from the back of the hotel,
Yeah.
the back entrance to that grocery store. That's where they had those grenades, the protein shakes. That's what
I
those
Mhm.
was
were.
like, what the fuck? I was
Yeah,
like,
they had those grenades. The fucking Hugo's Burgers kept me alive.
Yeah.
is that the one we
Yeah,
went to? Yeah.
everywhere
That was the
Yeah.
only place that was
everywhere
open.
was so close by. It was close by, convenient. It wasn't hard to navigate.
I think they're gonna do
Um
Junior Worlds there. Maybe I'll fucking go to that.
Maybe I'll just. Can I be a junior again?
Yeah.
guest
Dude.
lifter.
Yeah, that'll be sick. Dude, I need to get Wheeze over there. That'll be fucking fun. Like him and Coco, dude, just tension. Um, unless Coco's open now forever. But yeah, it was. Tell me about it. It was
Yeah, getting supplies this time around was way easier. And I also felt safe too because there was I mean, like it was a crazy party location, but at the
it
same
was
time, like
nighttime
all
was
the
nuts.
locals were really nice.
Yeah.
There was always like some sort of security around and people looking out for each other. Um, in South Africa, like we had to take like
Traveling
either a
groups.
taxi or yeah, uh over to the grocery store, which was outside of the resort area and was a little like sus. Um,
Yeah,
but
they
you
told
also
us to
had
walk in
to
groups.
yeah.
There's like a mob of monkeys that are just like, "What's up?"
Dude, there was a bunch of like monkeys everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was Like one of the hotels has a bunch just climbing around.
I
And they
almost
didn't give a
forgot about
shit.
it.
Monkeys don't
Yeah,
give a
but they had
fuck.
like the hotel staff had like paintball guns for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the monkeys.
Yeah.
I heard that they will go in your room and just snatch
Yeah,
steal.
yeah,
They'll just get something and
Yeah.
run out. Run out.
yeah. That's
Didn't
what they said.
they
Luck.
steal some lifters pre-workout?
Yep.
Jessica.
Oh yeah, wasn't it Gavin too though?
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
Jess and
Shit.
Imagine
Gavin.
lit monkeys,
Yeah.
pre-workout monkeys.
It wasn't too bad, but this one in Malta was definitely like a million times better.
Yeah.
Dude, it was fucking lit though. I'm not gonna lie. Like even waiting for what day was I waiting for? Was it Mikey's day? I don't remember. I was outside. They had a soccer game going. There's fucking a shitload
Yeah.
of fans just drunk as shit. They cars would try to drive through and they would get like pushed. Like they opened the back of the van and they were just like sitting on it like it was just fucking it was complete anarchy. I was like walking through the crowd. I'm getting slapped and pushed. Like I probably
I
got
think that was
stabbed.
John's day.
Was it John's day? It might.
I
Yeah, it
think
might have
so
been.
because it was earlier in the day and there was so many people out because I had to go run and get supplies
You
Yeah,
know,
it
I
and
was.
there
just
were
thought of that.
so many people on the street.
It was
I
fucked.
just thought about that.
But funny.
Compared to the other ones, like everyone got to walk around because everything was so close. So that was fun because there was just always
Yeah.
like you're just always around like people, you know.
Hmm.
So that was
There was a mall
that was
across the
fun.
street.
Yeah,
They had really overpriced Pokemon cards in there.
yeah, yeah. Those were super expensive for some reason.
It was expensive in Malta, I will say. It was a little. It was like I live in
It's
LA
a tour. Yeah, it's a tourist
and
area.
it's
So
similar pricing, and I'm just like usually like I'm going to Houston tomorrow, and everything's cheap. Everything's cheap as fuck. Like way, 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 way cheaper. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. Only at Worlds can you just go in the street and walk around and meet like a random lifter from another country and like, all right, we're homies now. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
not, if I see like US lifters, I'm just like, whatever. like, like if I'm at like if I'm at like Nats or something, it's just different. I don't know. It's like,
the vibe's different, bro. Like it's super different.
yeah, it's
Dude,
like,
even
Like
the locals there, like the workers and stuff, they were
oh,
interested in our event
yeah,
and they would
they
like
were super cool.
yeah,
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 and that was really
that's.
awesome.
I mean, I didn't really try to talk to locals. There's a lot of fucking pizza everywhere. And they had that little hallway that went upstairs that was just like it was like bars and strip
Mm.
clubs and all kinds of shit.
yeah.
Like every morning, if you just like when I would go out to try to get coffee or something, or if the day that I left, the breakfast wasn't open, and you just see like the devastation from the night before, and there's just like tons of like workers like cleaning everything, and there are people that they didn't sleep, like you could just see them at the beach like dead, like just laid out everywhere, like it's definitely a crazy town. It's like a fucking party
Yeah.
town. Um, and there was like, believe it or not, like there was like little food places that are open just like 24 hours. I remember I saw Eno when I was leaving and I was like, oh shit, like what are you doing? And it was just super cool to see him, finally meet him. um Meeting Calle, I mean, dude, like there's so many lifters that like I coach internationally that like I've never gotten to meet yet. um like and I met so many of them at this, and I'm like, man, I need to go to meet people. I want to meet all my people. Like it just makes the connection better, and it's just so cool how like we build this relationship online, and then when we meet each other in person, it's like everything's continues like just as normal. Um, you just get along just fine. Um, how hard was the travel for you guys to get there, Callie? How'd it start with you?
For me, it was easy. I had just one connection flight. All in all, it took like 5 hours, I think. So,
Easy.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, it was easy. So it didn't affect me at all. And I flew out early as well. I flew out Saturday, I think. Yeah, Saturday, and I competed Tuesday. So
Time
everything
zone
was
is
completely
similar.
fine for me. It's the exact same.
Shit.
That's crazy. That's
Oh.
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
So the only thing I did was just try to, go to sleep a little later throughout the night for like 5 weeks out. I started like going to bed later just because we had a late weigh-in.
Right.
John, you
So
probably
yeah,
had to do
just
something similar to me, right?
The time wise, travel
Travel.
wise.
Yeah.
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 Total, I think it was about 18, maybe 20 hours.
So
We
mine
did
was. Oh, go ahead.
here to San Francisco to Switzerland, and then a small flight from Switzerland to Malta.
What is your airport called in Fresno?
FAT. FAT.
It has very, very limited flights.
There's nothing. There's literally no
It's
Yeah.
very
flights. It's a
limited
tiny
flights.
airport.
Yeah.
I think we have like 6 gates or six like little
Could
terminals
you get
rather, I
there like
suppose.
an hour before your flight and be fine?
Yeah, probably. That's why I try. I don't want to do that, but I know I can do that. Like
Yeah.
the TSA is like there's like no one. Like at the busiest times, there's
Fucking
like probably like
Fresno, dude.
20 of us. There's like 20 of us, and there's still some crackhead in France. Like
I went from LAX to like Zurich, and then Zurich to Malta,
Malta.
and then I
Yeah.
went from Malta to Munich, and then Munich to LA. But my flight was delayed, and I only had like 50 minutes difference, or like an hour difference almost. The first flight was delayed, and I ran. Like I ran. I said, "Fuck my body. I'm not missing this flight." I
Your
ran.
main flight to your
Yes,
like long flight.
the big
Oh
one. I
shit.
ran to it. And I just
damn.
channeled that inner like, all right, it's football. I'm tired. And then I see it wasn't just like get off the plane, go to your gate. It was get off the plane, run a mile, go up like escalators, go down,
Yeah.
show these people your passport, like do all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta go,
Oh
man. I gotta
damn.
go. I'm like fucking knocking people over and shit. And then I get there and I'm like, my bag is not gonna make it. There's no way my bag is gonna make it. Like my bag is gonna get left, like for sure. And I landed, and then I was waiting, and I was like, oh, I was on the phone with Tina, and I was like, my bag doesn't seem to be at the thing. So then I go, and they're like, oh yeah, your bag's still in Germany. We're gonna send it to you like over the next coming days, and like just give us your information. So I wrote everything down, and then they called me like 2 days later, and they're like, all right, I'm gonna come drop it off at your house, which is cool, I guess. They literally take it to your house,
Yeah.
which is dope. So shout out to them for that. But that reminds me, I need to call them because I pay for internet because I need to have internet at all times to do this job, and I did not get that. I did not get that service. I paid for this internet and I got like so screwed by Swiss Airlines. So they like give you set megabytes and like I've never experienced that. When I went to Korea, I had unlimited internet. It was great. I could
Oh, it's
play
Korea.
like Pokemon on my phone. Like I could play internet, like I could play a game on my phone. Korea, no problem. Asiana Airlines was good. Where else did we go? Sheffield. I don't even remember what airline that was. That was solid. But this bullshit. It's torture, dude. 12 hours with no internet, I'll fucking die. Like it was I could like get barely get communications out. But you guys are healthy. What you guys did is extremely special. It was like for me it was such a treat to be able to see that, to get the ultimate best result, to go 27 white lights, both of you. I'm super proud of both of you guys. I feel like the bond that we create just through our communication, just through, everything that we do, it goes beyond, honestly, like, for example, both of you, I've had to do significant, like, programming adjustments to deal with obstacles. For example, Calle hurt his back, like, was it 2021 or it was 2022, early, mid last year?
2021, I think. Yeah. 2021. 1 week before Euros, I fucked up my back.
I remember changing that program, getting through those injuries, we did everything right and we got through that and then we started building and then we started progressing and it wasn't even like, I don't know. It's like when I know the lifter really well, it's not that hard for me to just like, I have like these like, it's like a box of tools and instincts, and I just pick out the thing that fits this situation, and we just do it. And when you guys communicate with me really well, it allows us to get it done and do it, and like to make a plan and do the plan and get the result that you want is fucking the best feeling. Same thing with John. After this meet, we had injuries to deal with. We had to address the mental, so we adjusted the training days. Um, you put the heels on. Like we did all these things to bring you in after a short turnaround at a fast meet.
Oh,
Go ahead.
good. No, I'll leave. No, I'll let you
No,
finish. I'll
no,
let you
just a
finish.
fast meet. 27 white lights, super hard conditions, and you didn't give a fuck about any of that. You just blasted through all of it. That is like this performance, like your guys' performances, like Jesus's performance, like those are the ones that like I remember. If Amanda would have got that pull, this last pull, I mean her last meet was fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
Her squats
Yeah.
this meet though was like the best peaked I've ever seen them in a long time. I was like, holy shit. So, and she's more comfortable, and that's the thing when you're doing the same process, you get like you know not to, you just get more comfortable with things and you feel confident about it. Like I forget who I was telling this to. I was like, I like the fast meet. I like the quick. Like I don't mind the quick turnaround. I don't want it consistently, but if we have to do that, it's a challenge. And I am constantly looking for opportunities to, if it stresses the other side, like the opposition, I feel that we're gonna get through that better than most people are gonna ever be able to. You know what I mean? Um, and it shows. It shows, man. I mean, there are a lot of other matchups where I was thinking about the opposition, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like we're gonna have to be on point because that guy's looking good. You know, he's looking really good. Like we got to go 9 for 9, and then like they just like weren't strong. They had a bad day, shit day, and I don't know what it is. Shit happens. Um, but there are things that you have to do in your preparation. I was telling Russ this yesterday, and I just told you guys this before. It's like being undeniable is like more important now than it's ever been. There's too much at stake. There's, you know, you have to be fucking perfect. That's it. Now, John, I know you don't like the word perfect, but perfect in a sense of 27 white lights is the maximum. There's no
Yeah.
28 white lights.
Yeah.
So that is perfect. Going 9 for 9 is perfect. Now, if you want to get intricate into the weight that was lifted, you know, so you literally have to be, that's it. Like, no, if one of those 74s misses a lift, if Callie misses a lift, if Tim misses a lift, all right, you're getting fourth now. Get out.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's that's how it's gonna be, and
Dude, half a kilo.
that's it. I mean, obviously, like you did the weight that you were supposed to do. You had a little bit more, but
Yes,
it
of
was it
course.
was of course like, and that's the thing, right? People that look at the paper, they're not getting the full image. Like they don't know the true story. Because he had more, you know, John had more, then they might see it as somebody might be basing their whole training around. Oh my fucking god! I keep thinking about like it will be very foolish for people to look at you two, for those that want what you have, and think that this is you. Like this is just gonna be you. Like this is gonna be like your maximum. Because from my perspective, there's so much more there, and it's just like a cool thing to know that you got a couple extra, you know, in the chamber. What were you gonna say, John?
Uh. Oh, back real quick to like with Amanda. I noticed that too. Just like chatting with her, she seemed way more like confident.
She was
Not that
chilling.
she's not. Yeah, not that she's not confident, but sometimes I know she like gets she kind of gets
Nah,
nervous here and
Sheffield,
there.
she was stressed the fuck out
Yeah,
because
and
yeah,
like this one, like yeah, exactly, and like this one, she seemed like I fucking got this,
she was super
and that was
happy.
that was
Yeah.
really that was really nice to see for her.
Well, when squats go good, um, it kind of again sets the tone for everything. When Callie has a good meet, that sets the tone for everybody else. There are some things that I did see in this meet, both with uh like my helpers and some of my lifters, not you guys, where when you get to the bleeding edge of competition and the stress is at its maximum where I feel most alive, there are some people that you start to see you have to be your strongest when the pressure is the highest. You have to be the most resilient when things are would crush other people. You know what I'm saying? And I saw little cracks. I saw little cracks here and there. Now we got the job done um, with some of my lifters, but it definitely there are things that we can do to be stronger mentally, to be stronger physically, and I think that just comes from executing your plan, uh, getting it done on the platform, and then over time you build that confidence. I mean, I've seen it happen. I've even seen it happen with Russ. Like your personality changes after you get that trust in your process, I guess you could say. Um, like you guys probably know that your preparation. I mean, John, I know that your food, like you're not just beating someone on SBD. I'm beating you on how many meals I'm getting per day, on the protein that I'm getting per day. Am I getting my recovery? Am I taking care of my body? Am I doing, hot bath, ice bath, whatever you have to do? Oh, I have this little injury that's acting up. I know how to fix it. Whatever. You do all of those things better than the competition when things are so close, and you start to get like little edges on them, like little tiny little um you know like advantages, I guess you could say, and it adds up over time, it adds up over time, it adds up over time. And I think it's a lot of people like they're gonna have to learn the hard way. So it's and sometimes that they can figure that out. Like I can only
Yep.
control so much. I can only
Yep.
control like a lot. I mean, I can control what I can control, but a lot of that stuff is like if John reacts better to like a certain food, then maybe he likes to bias that food more. Um, if Callie knows that I don't know he should be going to bed at a certain time, and then he's got to do that. Like I used to operate. Fuck, when I was competing, I mean, if I could analyze myself, when I was competing, my protein was never good. It was always like 180, which is as a 250 plus pound person, that's shit. And my sleep was always fucked. Um, because I would just stay up too late and I would sleep in super late, or like I would stay up late and then wake up at like 8 to use the restroom and be like, "Well, fuck, like I'm on the West Coast. The East Coast has been awake already for 3 hours." Right? Like I need to wake up now, and now my sleep is bad. So even though I lifted weights that I never thought I would lift, how much better could I have been if I would have paid attention to those things? And those are just things that, you know, it's like taking comfort in the misery of in the sacrifice. Taking comfort in the
The
sacrifice.
the way I the way I kind of approach powerlifting now. I mean, I always have had this, but it's like an MMO.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like,
Max your
but it's
stats
just
out.
life, and our character is like me. My character is me, like my body. You know, like I gotta do my dailies, and then
Mhm. Mhm.
I gotta go train. I gotta get some EXP. You know, and it's just like how like literally how min max can I be? Like
Yeah, and
sleep is gonna let you train the next day, and then
and
or like if
sometimes you got to refund all your skills and then like redistribute them in the right
yeah
skill
you
tree.
gotta reset, you gotta like that was a good meet, but hold on,
That's
like
literally what we did at the Sheffield.
what if
We
I
we
what if I equip the heels back, bro? I don't know. I remember I did that one run. I liked it. Remember?
That's so funny.
You
That's so
know. So
fucking
it is
good.
like it really is like that.
Yeah, so it's
So
going to be interesting going forward. I'm just excited to keep competing, man. I was telling Grant this the other day. Shout out to our Callie's long lost Swedish brother. Um, that when you're in those moments that are crazy stressful and everything's on the line, that's where you get to show your
Who you
greatness.
are.
That's where you
It
get to
really gets to
Yeah.
show.
show who you really are. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of true colors that show in those uh, high intensity and pressure moments,
Yeah.
where there is chances for a lot of emotion to get thrown around as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people's true colors, in a sense, show.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, yeah. I mean, when
um,
shit hits the fan, everything comes out.
yeah. And why do you think I'm so chill? I smile because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
everything's on the line. And if I said I kind of touched on this on the media thing, but I'm like, that's why I'm so chill, because I'm like, hey, if I die right now, at least let me like die with a smile. Let me die with a smile.
Yeah. You
That's how
wanna.
I approach
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. It's interesting. Russell's talking about if you show me a loser that's okay with losing, I'll show you a loser, something like that. If you show me someone, basically like, if you show me a loser, it's like if you show me a loser that loses like a loser, you're a loser.
what the
But basically,
what the
it's
fuck?
like, basically like when you deal with adversity, you have to like be very bothered by it. And I know like now for a normal person, John going 8 for 9 at Worlds and hitting the total he hits, for some people that's incredible, right? For John, that's fucking. I will not live. I
Unacceptable.
cannot live with this. I cannot live
Unacceptable.
with this. This is the travesty. This is the worst thing ever. Which is interesting. This is why I love Worlds because you're around fucking winners. Or sorry, Worlds.
Yeah,
When I'm
no.
talking about Sheffield, all those girls broke so many world records, but because of the scoring that they used, like they're like crying after, and we're like, "Why are you crying? What's wrong?" And they're like, "I lost," and it's like, "Yeah, but you just took like the squat record, the deadlift record, the total record.
Yeah,
You pushed the world record. You're the best in the world." But because the metric was like a specific way, it
perspective.
they were so sad because like this is how I'm judged now. So it's, but we're talking about like the pinnacle of the pinnacle of the pinnacle. So I think Callie's in a great position to continue. Like how many weeks do we have now? 25?
Something like that.
Yeah,
26.
I think it's like 26 something.
How many months is that? Fucking eight,
A lot.
6?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more than 6. Like
6,
8.
7, 6, 7, something like that. Yeah. Complete reset button. When I saw Jesus hitting 950 yesterday, I was like, man, we're supposed to be chilling right now. Like we're
He
supposed
actually hit that?
yeah.
I
Man.
thought that was
No, that
like
was
Oh, that was
something
like a
from a
replay.
clip.
no,
Yeah.
he was in the gym.
Yeah.
He was at Corrupted with the homies.
Bruh.
Oh, shit.
No, Mikey is where you were, John. Like we're not doing fucking no sumo.
Fuck.
We're not
Yeah. He's
doing
still
no
in
sumo.
Italy, isn't he?
I told him yesterday. I was like, "Where the fuck are you?" He's like, "I'm coming back Wednesday." He's like, I've been trying to leave." No, but I want to build everything up. He's gonna diet some weight off, um, which is interesting. You know, I talked about what Fam wanted to do with you, which is fine, and then what Kedrick wants to do with Mikey, which is also fine. It was just a different way to do it. Um, you know, either stay your weight or cut your weight down. And I'm just really fucking happy the plan worked out because I was like, I honestly like you guys. I ask a lot of you. Like I'm asking a lot of you. You know, remember Callie when you were like, fuck, I think I should go 83s, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
we got some
You know what
more.
the crazy thing?
Now you're the
I
best.
was like 75. I was like 75 kilos like off season, and I was thinking about going up a weight
Yeah.
class.
What?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, I'm hungry.
It was just a mental strain, but then I
Yeah.
got him with Paige, and she is really good about um, helping with the mentals in terms of the diet, and they did really, really good. Eventually, I want to have you and Paige on to talk about that, but uh, you know, you just I don't know where I was going with this, but you just basically sometimes like you don't want to move up unless it's like really, advantageous to do it. I do think you would make a great 83 one day, because of your frame.
Yeah, but not now.
Not now, yeah. There's no reason to, um, especially because like I don't know what Russell's gonna want to do. I don't know, like we're still trying to figure that whole thing out. I don't. I mean, what sucks for him is like we're always like getting ready for a meet and something comes up and then we're not doing it and it's just such a fucking buzzkill. John knows what it's like
I
to
know.
be getting ready for something and then the world ends, so now you're not doing that and it's just like god damn it. Um but anyway, it was a good talk. Is there anything that you guys like wanted to touch on, or do we pretty much looking at my notes really quickly? It was interesting judging, but you guys were perfect, and you didn't have to make the judging a factor because you were to the standard. 27 white lights for both of you, which is incredible at this meet. The meet was very fast, but it obviously didn't affect you guys much. Maybe a tiny bit on squat. It was the biggest worlds ever, which is crazy. I wonder if it's going to be like that every year. Biggest worlds ever, biggest worlds ever, biggest worlds ever.
I think so. I think it's
Just
gonna
going to
keep
keep
getting
Yeah.
growing.
bigger. Yeah.
Um, it was
You know,
cool.
real quick, that's a really good point. Really, really fast about that. We were talking about just like being around so many people. You just had a bunch of like lifting homies there, right?
Yeah,
And like just think about the fact of just how many people were there. It was,
Yeah.
just the volume of like lifters, not just like people, but like lifters we
yeah,
had, which was like like fuck, dude. I was like, that's the most pictures I've had to take with people.
yeah. It was more
I know I
than
knew.
I can only
But
imagine if. I mean, Jesus was basically a celebrity.
yeah,
Both of you
yeah, and
guys, I
like
Yeah.
mean, dude, your guys'
yeah,
followings have grown so much. Like,
like
so,
after
so much.
Sheffield, bro, that's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
how much I've
crazy.
yeah. And I
If there
attest that to
was
that meme, but
if there was anywhere to perform the way you guys did, it was
it was literally
this
this meme, yeah,
worlds in particular for sure.
You guys rose to the occasion.
100%,
You
yeah.
didn't let the moment fuck with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Oh,
handled business. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Just kind of chilling with the homies. Do a little meet recap. Yeah. Is there anything you guys wanted to say or touch on? Solid. Good. Good.
Well, I'm good. I just appreciate you guys. I'm always happy I get to see you guys, like actually in person. You know,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
like a thing. I will touch on that really quick. Because I heard this spoken about just not too long ago about how things we remember, and you talked about that, right? Um, you could talk to someone who's like old and retired, and let's say they've been to war, right? And maybe the war happened like 50 years ago. Doggos.
He started growling, and I was like, "No." Go ahead. Go ahead.
So like, say you're talking to a retired guy, this example. Say he's been to war, 50 years ago, even, right?
Mm.
And you ask him things about his life. Um, the thing that he may bring up and could tell you very vivid stories is from the war. And it was just like in that moment, it was a real thing that happened with him. Maybe it only happened for like a minute in actual time, right? Maybe his friend died in front of him or something like that, right? But it's lived with him forever, and it's a vivid memory that he's had his entire life, and he can explain to you like what the grass next to him looked like, 50 years ago. And I like to think that things like these events are things that down the road when I'm older, maybe I'll be talking to my kids or grandkids or you guys, and I'll be like, hey, you remember in Malta when we were just chilling at the whatever, when we were
Yeah.
just having breakfast. Oh yeah, those eggs were good, and I'm sure we'll be able to bring up those very vivid things, and I think that's very profound and interesting to think
This
about
is
when
what it's
with these
about.
types of events.
This is what it's
You know.
about. Like these are the moment. This is why I really wanted to make it a point this year to travel. Um, because I don't want to miss these moments, and I'm trying to put myself in a position where like I want to be in Romania for Junior Worlds. I want to just go to everything and see everyone and just experience it to the fullest. Um, and but I know more opportunities will come, and it will be cool. It's just cool to know that I have like I said, Callie, I don't know if you saw this. I feel like I have like family all over the world. I feel like there's people
You
that
do.
care about like what we're doing, and just the goodness that comes from like representing your country. And I mean, did you guys see Anatoly's post?
Bro,
Yeah.
I was about to bring that up. I had a
That was
conversation
really
with him.
cool. Yeah.
Via like Google Translate. I would just type it in to translate, and it would, translate it for him. And he was like, he said, he straight up said, it was like IPF family. I love you guys. Just all you guys are IPF family to me. That's what that's what he basically said.
What's dope is like he was like, I'm happy that a Ukrainian lifter was able to take like best lifter because now I can tell the world that like Ukraine is still fighting. Let me close the door. The Ukraine is still fighting. Um, we like basically raise awareness, like to tell the world, and that
Yeah.
can be a
Yep.
Mm.
cause that's bigger than the actual like lifting. So that's there's something about
Yeah.
there's something
I was
about
I was happy he got best lifter. I was like hoping he gets best lifter
yeah.
when because I was like I had it before he went, and I was like I really hope Anatoly does well because I feel like he deserves best lifter for like just being
I want to
here
see him
right
hit
now.
like 970.
Yeah.
I feel like he could bench 240, but maybe I'm tripping. Anyway, alrighty guys. Thank you for taking the time to sit and talk with me. It was cool to have you guys here, and we will see what adventures lie ahead. Later.